Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to yet another 911 Mythbusters. This time, we're going to be talking about our international visitors from overseas that come to the United States, Texas, or otherwise, that may need to dial 911 while they're here. Now, the numbers for people across the pond, as we say, sometimes would be 112 or 999, something to that effect. It's not 911 like it is here in the United States. So, what happens when they get here and they try and dial 911? Well, what they can do is they can actually dial the same number they would at home, and their cell service, if they're using a cell phone, should recognize that it is an emergency number and automatically dial to 911. Landlines don't work exactly the same. Not that we have many of those left around here, and hopefully, if they're in a place that they're having to use the facility phone, the people in that facility can help them. But if they take their cell phone, their carrier will recognize that they're trying to dial an emergency number and it automatically dials emergency for them. So traveling internationally here to the United States is actually not that difficult when it comes to emergency services. And we generally have a lot of the same practices as uh, emergency services uh, overseas. So generally, you're going to come across some of the same expectations of what location you're at, or they may ask you a business you're near. Since, of course, you're not from this area, you don't know exactly where you're at sometimes as far as streets and all that, which is fine. But if you're near a business or near a large landmark that you can find, or you're near a street sign, something like that can really help us out if you have to dial. But don't feel like, if you forget that here in the United States it's 911, you can definitely use your emergency number that you would if you were at home. Now, another thing, if you travel here and you don't necessarily speak our language, it's also not an issue. We do have a program through Voyance Language Line, or most agencies will have some type of language line that they can transfer to that will translate for us. Even if we don't know which language it is specifically, they have an option for that. They actually have an option that we can choose unknown language, and there is a language expert that speaks multiple languages. And even if they don't speak that language, they are linguistic experts that can tell you what language they're speaking and then get you to the appropriate translator. Now, does that take some time? Yes, it does take a little bit of time. However, that service is there, so don't feel like if you don't speak our language, you can't call. And if you're in a population area that has a large amount of someone that speaks a certain language, for instance, I'm an operator in Texas. A lot of us know enough Spanish to get you help immediately, then get the details through a translator. Or if not, there's tons of dispatchers in Texas that fully and are fluent in Spanish. It's just because of the population that we have. It helps us out a lot, and even in our day to day life, sometimes communication we have to speak in Spanish to be able to talk to people. So don't feel like you won't be able to call 911. This is a shorter one, but I hope you enjoy this content of me bringing you different myths and things to help you along if you ever have to dial 911 or, in this case, emergency services, whatever that number may be. And until next time, remember if you have to dial 911, don't forget to dial up those details.